Good evening and welcome to UPfront. My name is Raymond Akwa. My guest tonight is a man who was in Parliament, is in Parliament. They are the people that worked on that bill that's generated a lot of controversy. I mean, of course, a lot of ignorance too among people who have not, we are told, read the bill. Tonight on UPfront, he will tell us what this bill is truly about. What have they finally settled on? Is it markedly different from what was introduced to the public or introduced to the committee in the first place? For example, what have they done about the sections on intersex? What have they done about the claims by Sraj that it gives directives to independent constitutional bodies? What have they done about the claims that it violates privacy, personal liberty, freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom of assembly, equality, and also non-discrimination? In fact, what have they done about the claims that the bill gags advocacy and campaigns aimed at protecting LGBTQ also persons from discrimination and violence, and that it undermines basic human rights? What have they done about claims that this bill is supposed to make me, Raymond Akwa, fear for my life because I cannot even speak up about gay issues? And that is the issue that we are trying to get to the bottom of, line by line, clause by clause, a better appreciation with the ranking member of the Committee of Constitutional, Parliamentary and Legal Affairs in the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana, the Honorable Benjamin and Bernard. Why do I call Benjamin all the time? Bernard Ahiafor. Honorable, you're welcome to UPfront.
Thank you.
I hope you are doing well.
Yeah, well.
It was a tough jump from 2021 to 2024. But it appears finally the coast is clear.
Yes.
But why did you push it through when the majority leader, for example, has concerns and needed more time to make some final changes? You should respect a man who's now been given such a big role.
Well, let me use the opportunity to say a very good evening to your cherished viewers and listeners. As a matter of fact, as indicated, the bill has taken some time in Parliament. You stated that from 2000, this bill has been in Parliament throughout to this stage. But what is important is that at long last, the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana has done the third reading. At long last, Parliament of the Republic of Ghana had done the third reading of the Anti-LGBTQ Bill. The bill is actually called Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill. It's now going to be Human Sexual and Family Values Act. The President has assessed to it. Now, you've indicated that the majority leader was seeking for more time.
Yes.
In fact, I believe strongly that when a procedure is set down for a right to be exercised, it is that procedure alone that must be followed in exercising the right. Our standing order regulates how a bill is supposed to be taken through a consideration stage. Now, the law permits in Standing Order 171 that after the consideration of the bill can be taken through a second consideration before the motion for the third reading of the bill. So they have done the first consideration, second consideration, then another consideration of the bill. Now, we all know that at that particular stage, when you are granted leave, you go straight to propose the amendment that you have to the bill that you want the House to carry along. You don't ask for a permission to be able to file an amendment to that particular bill. So when you are asking for permission, then it means that at the stage of passing the third reading of the bill, you don't have at hand any amendment to any of the provisions of the bill. That is not the stage for which you should be seeking for time to come and file the amendment. Let me use the opportunity to explain the processes that we use in making law. You see, when a bill is introduced in Parliament, that is what we refer to as the first reading of the bill. It will be referred to the appropriate committee. The committee will do a stakeholder engagement, welcome a memo from the general public, go through that particular process, and resolve to do clause-by-clause consideration of that bill at a committee level. After the committee has completed the exercise, they will generate a report and add proposed amendment at the committee's consideration to that particular report. then the bill is ready to be taken at second reading. Now, at second reading, we debate the principle, the rationale, the brain behind the bill, the mischief that the bill is seeking to cure. We debate it at the second reading. Then when it is passed at the second reading, then the bill moves to consideration stage. At consideration stage, the entire provision of the bill, including the long and short title, is open for amendment by any member of the public. So at that stage, you see many members filing amendment to the bill at the consideration stage. Now, human as we are, maybe for one reason or the other, we have passed through the consideration stage. But you went and looked at the bill and realized that there is the need for a particular provision to be amended. So the law allows you, just before the third reading of the bill, you can arrest the third reading and seek leave of the Speaker to take the bill through second consideration. Then when you are granted the leave, you go straight to the provision of the bill that you feel should be amended. Then you propose your amendment to the entire House. But that is not the stage for which you should be arresting the third reading of the bill to be granted leave so that you can go and file amendment. Okay. No, a second consideration, you propose the amendment on your feet.
Okay.
Because there is no time for you.
So you people did not treat him unfairly?
No, we never treated him unfairly. Yeah, because the bill has been in the House for long. I believe anybody who intends filing amendment to the bill for the amendment to be moved and debated on the floor of Parliament had the opportunity so to do. You see, there is this issue that we call filibustering.
Yeah, where you can be on your feet and speak for a longer period to deliberately delay a bill.
That is
it's very popular elsewhere. I don't know if your standing orders allow you to do that.
Yes. People use it a lot.
Okay.
If you read the Scheme, that is what happened. So it's either you want the bill passed or you want to engage in filibustering. I believe the bill has been in the House for some time, and if my brother, the majority leader, intend to do a fresh amendment apart from a lot of amendments that he proposes, most of which were not carried out, he would have done it at that stage.
I get your point. Now, there's the other point that's also making the waves now. It's passed.
Yes.
For Parliament, you've done your work.
Yes.
But there's a huge uproar out there. People insisting that the the president should not assent to this bill. In fact, just today, the strike boss says you, as Parliament, failed the the gay community. That's a better expression for it.
I do not see anybody who will look at this particular bill from clause 1 to the end will say that we have failed that particular community. Because if you look at clause 1 of the bill, it tries to proscribe certain activities, and they are spelled out here. Lesbianism, gayism, a bisexual, a transgender, a transsexual, an ally, a pansexual, or a person of any other sexual orientation or in a sexual relationship that is contrary to the sociocultural relationship between a male and a female. For instance, they said a woman and a woman engaging in a sexual relationship that is popularly known as lesbianism is proscribed by this particular bill. Now, the homosexualism, where a man and a man will be engaged in sexual relationship or getting married, so as a woman and a woman is also not allowed. You are born as a man, but you, however, want to transgender into a woman. You are born a woman and you want to transgender into a man. Those are the activities that are being proscribed. You are a man, but you want to marry an animal, bestiality. Should we encourage that in our country? And
some say your bill is criminalizing people who want to be who they are.
No, you see,
that being a homosexual is who they are.
God wants you to be a man, so you are created a man in the wisdom of God. You want somebody to be a woman. So he's created the person a woman. Why would you, a man, want to be a woman?
But why are you interested in my sexual preference?
Naturally, even among birds, it is male and female. Is it not true?
I'm told so.
Among all animals, it is male and female. Even plants, it is male and female. A human being is a gregarious animal. Why should we allow a female and a female to get married and engage in sexual relationship? Why do we allow a male and a male to get married and engage in sexual relationship? Why do we allow a person born as a man to say that I have transgendered into a woman? Let me give you one example. In UK, somebody said, I am a man, I have transgendered into a woman. He was involved in a crime. And at the point of convicting him, they must send him to a female jail. He ended up impregnating the inmate. Is that what we want to encourage in society?
Now, the question that people have difficulties with is that you included, in fact, the Straj review or complaint about the bill said you included intersex persons for their biological condition, which they have no control over.
That one, in finalizing the bill, we've ironed all those things.
So there's no intersex in the bill?
No.
How about the other claim, Honorable?
Look at clause 1.
Clause 1, yeah.
Yes.
It lists the people that...
Yes. Lists the activities.
Okay. Yeah, so the activities, once again, are...
A lesbian.
A lesbian.
A gay.
A gay.
A bisexual. A transgender. A transsexual. An ally. And a pansexual.
Would I be arrested merely because I call myself a lesbian?
No. You see, if you look at the bill into detail, the bill prescribes activity. You understand? If you are in this studio and you are saying that you are a lesbian, who will come and arrest you? Should you be in this studio and said, oh, I am a thief? Stealing is a crime.
Yeah.
Is that not so? Mm-hmm. But if somebody is in your studio saying I am a thief, but he has not stolen anything, would the person be arrested?
So merely calling yourself something does not mean that you have offended the law.
The bill prescribes activities, LGBTQ activities. So if you don't engage in the activity, you have nothing with the law.
But you have to invade the bedroom of somebody to be able to know whether they are engaged in it.
The law doesn't extend to the bedroom.
Okay.
So if you are caught, you are in trouble.
In the act.
For instance, if somebody steals and the person is not caught, what happened to the person?
There's no crime.
So it is only when you are caught. So they should get the meaning clearly.
Okay.
People are committing crime and they are getting away with it. And in other words, some people are in prison now for a crime that they have not committed because of judicial uncertainty. So that one, you can rule it out.
Okay.
Because if you are in your bedroom, whatever happened in your bedroom, if a report is not made about it, for instance, rape, is it not a crime?
Yeah, it's a crime.
Having a carnal knowledge with a female without her consent.
Consent, yeah.
It's a crime.
Yeah.
But you do have a carnal knowledge with a female without her consent, and she didn't go to report. Who will be able to know what happened between you and her in the bedroom?
Okay. So, I mean, this point is important because already people are saying out there that merely because you say you are gay or you are lesbian, the police will round you up.
No, that is not it. The law prescribes activities.
Okay. The other point,
activities. The law is specific.
About the activities, not the people.
Yes. If you say that, oh, I am going to transgender into a woman.
You have not even done it anyway.
You have not even done it. So you've not involved in the activity that the act is trying to make illegal.
I get your point.
Once you don't engage in the activities that the act is making illegal, I don't think the law will go after you. No police will go after you because mere words will not amount to a crime.
A crime. Now, they say the bill violates the right to privacy. Does it?
How does it violate right to privacy?
Straj is of the opinion that...
They should go ahead and explain how it violates right to privacy.
To them, it invades what people are supposed to do in their bedrooms and what you should not care about.
Oh, no. That is not it. I completely disagree with Shiraj.
But they sent you a copy of their memo.
They should look at the, you see, at the committee stage,
yeah,
we have received
a lot of
close
memos.
to 200 memoranda. And we went through it stage by stage. And we had a meeting, and the Shiraj came to do a presentation based on their memo. And the committee did very well by taking all those memos into consideration in coming out with clause by clause of the bill. What would have to be deleted has been deleted. What addition that the committee will have to make has been made. Even the day that the third reading was done. The media issue that you are talking about.
Yes.
We realized that the Constitution guarantees that particular freedom.
Media freedom.
So what we need to do is to subject the provisions of clause 10 and clause 11 of the bill to the provisions of the Constitution. So it means that whatever right that is guaranteed by the Constitution, your fears are allayed that you will continue to enjoy those rights.
So the point that's been made,
subject to the provisions of the Constitution. That is the final rendition of clause 10 and clause 11 of the bill. So what I would want Shira to do is that the bill at its final stage, they should take a look at it, having regard to the proposed amendment to the bill, and still take the stand that they are taking, that the bill is invading privacy or it is not invading privacy. I maintain at the committee level that the bill as introduced and referred to the committee may not end up in the form in which...
Yes, that's true. That conversation was had.
I always state that anytime they're having stakeholders engagement,
I want you to,
at the second reading of the bill,
clarify this for me, Honorable. People said what you are doing, you are preventing media people from talking about gay and lesbian things, and that any wanton arrest and preventing of me from actually participating or engaging in the act of my job, it's a threat to media democracy too. Freedom of the media. Specifically, which provision in the bill is actually curtailing my rights to serve the masses of this country?
You see, the bill proscribes funding, promotion of the illegal LGBTQ activity.
Okay.
So if you are involved in promoting, in funding the illegal activity, then it means it is then that you will be caught by the law.
Not just me talking about
for instance, if you are using the media to just discourage people from engaging in an activity of LGBT or any illegal activity, would anybody have a problem with you? You cannot use your media to be promoting armed robbery.
No,
can you?
That's a crime.
Okay. So if the law says that these activities are illegal, can you use your media to be promoting illegal activity?
No, you can't do so.
Yeah, that is the same thing that the bill is saying, that by the passage of this particular bill, the LGBTQ activities that would be illegal by the passage of this particular law, you cannot fund it. You cannot promote it. So that doesn't infringe on your freedom you have under the Constitution.
So it does not infringe on the freedom of expression?
No.
Not on the freedom of association?
No.
Not on the freedom of assembly?
No.
Not on the freedom of equality?
Yes.
And the freedom of non-discrimination?
No, it doesn't. For instance, in this country, can we allow armed robbers to form an association?
I mean, that would be ridiculous.
The name of a freedom of association.
No.
Why? Because armed robbery
is a crime.
Can we have association of thieves?
Certainly not.
Can we have association of rapists?
I don't think so.
Why?
Because those
activities are illegal.
Outlawed.
So the Constitution creates freedom of association. But I believe there is a limit to every freedom. That is why we say in law that your right ends at somebody's nose. And the beginning of somebody's life, maybe somebody's right, may be the end of another.
So if a popular professor says, this is about human rights, It's also about the right to, I just mentioned to you, out there. And that media people should be rather interested in reading the bill and understanding that their job is also threatened.
No.
What do you say to such a person?
Then I will encourage the media to look at the bill in its final stage and then come out to say that it threatens their freedom. In the sense that if clause 10 and 11 is saying subject to the provisions of the Constitution of Ghana. You know, the Constitution is the supreme law of
the country, of course.
Above and beyond which no federal law exists. So, if there is a law that says subject to the provisions of the Constitution, then it means that whatever right that is guaranteed by the Constitution, as we speak, the bill cannot override it. So, unless, of course, you are saying that your understanding is that by the passage of this law, the freedoms, the rights guaranteed by the Constitution for the media, in I think chapter 12 or so, article 162 of the Constitution, from 162 going. You see, this bill is amending it.
But we cannot do that.
We cannot do that.
Anyway.
Even the Constitution itself says that Parliament has no right to make a law, which law will be inconsistent with any provisions of the Constitution. If you make a law which is inconsistent with any provisions of the Constitution, then to the extent of inconsistency, it is null and void. Now, so in crafting this particular law, we are also reminding ourselves with the constitutional provisions in order not to violate any provisions of the Constitution.
And I've taken my time going through the popularly held views about the bill, about what it offends, who is actually targeted, and the things that people out there, and even people who come to sit in these studios, some professors, say about this particular bill. That's why, because you worked on it, because you put it through the process, and you have the final copy, that's why we are going through this. Does the bill also gag advocacy and campaigns aimed at protecting LGBTQ persons from discrimination and violence?
No. Even the bill, there is an aspect of the bill that states clearly that if you commit a violence against an LGBTQ person, you will have to face the full recourse of the law and be punished by prison terms. It's clearly stated in this particular bill.
Really?
So, yes, so those who are advocating that the bill rather violated their law, I think if they look at the bill carefully, it rather protects their rights. Yes, the fact that you are perceived to be LGBTQ. You see, in our criminal jurisprudence, all suspects are deemed innocent.
Until proven guilty.
Until proven guilty. So that is the principle that guides our criminal jurisprudence. So a situation where a person is perceived to be engaged in LGBTQ activity doesn't make that particular person a criminal. At that stage, the person is still a suspect until otherwise proved to be guilty of the crime. So the bill proscribes a situation where you perceive somebody to be an LGBTQ person, and then you jump in to assault or attack that particular person. If you do that, you are committing a crime within the meaning of the human sexual and family value.
The other issue that has been raised about this bill is that the bill has provisions that are too broad and vague, which can lead to the abuse of power and arbitrary arrest of LGBTQ persons or anyone perceived to be
which
that
specific provisions are they referring to? You understand? So the statement that they are making is very nebulous.
Yes.
You understand?
Oh, you are saying that this is also vague. Okay,
yes.
It's interesting.
It's very vague because which of the provisions of the bill are they referring to? I have the bill before me. They should be able to refer to a particular clause that they are complaining about, or say that they have complained about a particular provision that Parliament has not taken in.
They're talking about Clause 4, for example. Yes. It says that Clause 4 appears to be broad.
Let's all look at
Clause 4 appears to be broad and vague in terms of what constitutes the parameters or scope of the term undermining.
Yes, so let's look at Clause 4. Prohibition of LGBTQIA+ and related activities. A person commits an offense if the person engages in, so it's talking about activity, sexual intercourse with a person of the same sex. What is ambiguous about this? You are engaging in a sexual intercourse with a person of the same sex. It means that a woman and a woman, and a man and a man, they are of the same sex. So the bill is proscribing it. Sexual intercourse with an animal, bestiality. What is the ambiguity about this particular provision?
Are these all the other ones?
Yeah.
Does it add activities that are not properly defined?
Pansexual activity, or marries or purport to marry a person of the same sex as that person. So you are a man. You want to marry another man. Is it not clear? This is what the bill is saying. Knowingly married. I think I've read this already. Yeah. Then marries or purport to marry an animal or object. You understand? You are a man, but you want to marry your dog. You want to marry your cat. Or you want to have sexual intercourse with your dog. You want to allow dog to have sex with you as a female. These are what the activities that the bill is complaining about.
So it's not
that is why I feel that they should go straight to the point and list the actual aspect of the bill that they say it is vague. The clause 4 that they have mentioned is what you and I are looking at. Now, if you come to D, hold out as a lesbian, a gay, a transgender, a transsexual, a queer. You see, a queer, people have problem with the meaning of queer. See, a queer is a person who is not heterosexual. A person who is not cisgender is what we call queer.
Okay.
So in life, we are all heterosexual. We are all cisgender. That is why a man can marry a woman can marry a man. But those who are not, it's an umbrella term for those who engage in those activities. Bill that they are saying.
How about the party says clause 15 and 16 violate the rights of freedom of expression and opinion, freedom of association and also freedom of assembly.
Let's look at that's why I brought the bill to the state.
Okay.
So
15 and 16.
Clause 15 the bill and see whether it creates ambiguity or it doesn't create ambiguity. Yes, prohibition of adoption order for LGBTQA B+ persons.
Okay, which one is it, 15 or 16?
That is clause 15.
Yes.
Then clause 16 is prohibition of grant of fosterage for LGBTQ persons.
What does that really mean?
You understand? For instance, what is an adoption?
Adopting a baby?
Yes.
Okay.
You understand? So you are engaged, or let me say, let's look at it this way. If you know this person is an armed robber,
okay,
or these are a group of armed robbers,
yeah,
will you allow such a person to adopt?
Adopt a baby?
Yes.
Why? Why should that be?
The person is involved in criminal activities.
Okay, yeah.
You know, in everything.
So we cannot trust a baby to such a person.
In everything you do regarding a child, the interest of that particular child is paramount.
Yeah.
You understand? So what the child is being adopted into should be a major concern for us. You understand?
I get you.
You want to be a foster father of somebody. Then you are an armed robber. Should we give you the opportunity? Now, you are somebody who is a man, but have transgendered into a woman. You are somebody who have engaged in lesbianism, homosexual activity. You are engaged in bestiality. You are pedophilia. You are having sex with children. You understand?
I get you.
Then you want to be given the opportunity to adopt children. You want to be given the opportunity to act as a foster parent. What are we talking about? That child, the right of that particular child must be protected by not allowing certain categories of people to be adopting them. No. Assuming you have a child, and I come to you you look at my background as a member of parliament, as a lawyer,
okay,
who probably do not have a child and seeking to adopt a child. It is by the act of God that I do not have a child. It is not my own creation.
Yeah, that you don't.
Then I don't. Then I want to adopt. Now, here lies somebody who is married to his fellow woman and they are engaged in lesbianism. Here is somebody who is engaged in homosexuality and engaged or married another man and engaged in homosexuality. This person says that I have a right to adopt a child.
Okay.
Do you understand?
No, I get your point.
Yes.
Now,
so that is why
I didn't get the point, but I don't know why it is felt in the opinion of Shraj.
That is why I have brought to the law.
Okay.
That this is
but was it in the original law and you removed it?
Most current rendition.
Of the law.
In passing a bill,
it goes through a lot of processes.
At consideration stage, it goes through a lot of processes, and there are a lot of guiding principles. One, the law that you are passing, is it inconsistent with any other laws that you have passed, taking the constitutional imperatives in mind? You understand? Now, is the law certain? Is it clear? And you draft in a language that everybody can read and understand. So in drafting, we do not use jargons, we do not use vocabulary. You draft in simple tenses for everybody to understand. And you must be brief, based on the brevity rules. So there are a lot of rules that guide it. So when the bill is introduced at consideration stage, every clause of the bill is open to the 275 members of parliament to look at it critically and propose the amendment. So this is not the final bill, because as at yesterday, there were amendments to the bill before the third reading. But this one captures the senses. That is why with this, you look at what the provision is saying, as against what those who are arguing against the law, they are saying. So I urge those who are arguing against the law to try and take a look at the final bill that will be going to the president for assent.
Did you at any point in time in your quest on this particular law put together a bill that will undermine Ghana's economic growth? Which this is what the U.S., just somebody in the United States embassy also has been saying.
I do not see. You see, it is unfathomable to say that this particular bill undermines economic growth. You see, let me give another example. I was in The Hague, the Netherlands. So at a meeting and issues relating to the LGBTQ bill in Ghana crop up. I am somebody who likes calling a spade, but not a long fork or spoon. So I asked that we have cultural dynamics. In The Hague, can I come to Hague and marry more than one? You know the answer that they gave me?
No.
It's against their law.
It's not bigamy.
That you are committing an offense of bigamy by marrying more than one. However, in Africa, if you go under the traditional marriage, it is potentially polygamous. But we do not see it as a crime. But to them, it is a crime. So what is wrong if in our country we are looking at LGBTQ, homosexuality, lesbianism, transgender, bestiality, pedophilia, we are looking at those activities as a crime in their country. If they feel it should not be a crime in their country, they should engage in those activities. There is a sovereignty of every country. So if in their country I cannot be polygamous, and we are polygamous in Africa, but it is not undermining our economic activities, why should an act or a law made by Parliament prohibiting LGBTQ activity will go a long way to undermine our economic?
A purported spokesperson for United States State Department is it Mila or Milina, as it's being called, has also pointed out that Ghana's tradition of tolerance, peace, and respect for human rights is a source of stability and prosperity that has long served the country as a model for countries around the globe. He believes that the bill will undermine Ghana's valuable public health, media, and civic spaces and the economy.
Well, my short answer is that maybe such a person is looking at the bill at the original state in which it was brought to Parliament. If our constitution doesn't undermine the freedom of the media, and the bill is subject to the provisions of the constitution, how reasonably can you say that the bill is undermining your freedom? If the constitution does not undermine your freedom, and the law is subject to the provisions of the constitution. If our constitution does not violate human rights, and there is a whole chapter dedicated to fundamental human rights, and this bill is subject to the provisions of the constitution, and the constitution does not undermine human rights, how can you say the bill undermines human rights?
Those who say that they are human rights activists.
Yes, in any case.
They are the ones who are actually pointing out that this is problematic.
What I'm saying, that in any case, Section 104 of our Criminal Offences Act has been with us from 1960. I'm talking about Act 29.
Okay,
Section 104. Prescribe a carnal knowledge.
Yes.
How does he undermine
unnatural carnal knowledge?
Yes, unnatural carnal knowledge. How does he undermine our economic growth?
But it has always been problematic
How does he discriminate? Does he discriminate? Does he offend any human rights? This law has been with us from 1960 till date. So
you are insisting to not affect our public health?
What I am saying here is that this law maintains that particular position and elaborates on it in the sense that homosexuality is a natural carnal knowledge. It's not a natural
the activity.
Knowledge. Yes.
Okay.
It's not a natural carnal knowledge. Having sex with an animal is not a natural carnal knowledge.
Frankly, I don't know. So, I mean, clearly, I've not done one before.
These are activities of a natural carnal knowledge that has been with us from 1960.
See, when you say unnatural carnal knowledge, you're saying that there is an accepted mode of engaging an act. What you're doing is not in that mode. It is unnatural.
That is all.
And that you are engaging in sex in a way that is not the way that we know it to be.
That is all.
You are using that the wrong hole, or you are actually entering the wrong place.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is all. That is all.
There is a member of parliament who said that engaging in a sexual act, like what they call fellatio, a man putting the mouth to the woman's private part, is also prescribed by this law. Is it true?
Well, we have to look at the law, because what I have here, you said it's called fellatio.
Yes.
It's not stated in any of the provisions of the law directly.
But can it be read into any of the provisions?
Well, I don't know which one, because then it must come under que. Is that heterosexual?
No, see, I'm not talking about the person involved.
Is that cisgender?
So if a man is sleeping with his wife,
yes,
and the man decides to do what is popularly called, what they call it, is it fellatio or whichever term that they have?
Can I explain it by asking a simple question?
Yes.
Do we have a marital rape?
Marital rape?
In our laws.
Do we?
Yes.
Oh, they do? I didn't know that we had marital rape.
No, I'm saying that we have a marital rape. Because for the two of you are consenting adults.
Yes.
And you have married. Can you go to court to say that my husband has raped me? Have you heard of it before?
No, I've not heard of it before. No, I have not.
It is only people who are not married that you can have an issues of marital rape.
Okay.
Erupting.
Okay.
From their relationship. So, if in the comfort of your bedroom, a husband and wife decided to engage in sex other than the natural way of doing it.
So we're talking about oral sex. That's what we're talking about.
Though in the Act 29, which was made in 1960, prohibit unnatural carnal knowledge. Have you ever seen such a person going to police station to report?
That I did it with my wife
Yes.
or my husband.
Yes. You understand?
I've not heard it before.
So, you see, nobody is taking the law into your bedroom affairs.
Okay.
That is why when the unnatural carnal knowledge law was made in section 104 of Act 29, it doesn't extend to the bedroom affairs.
No, I wanted to be clear on it because it has been raised.
This particular law is not extending to somebody.
No, you mean it does not cover oral sex? Or it does cover oral sex, no matter the parties involved?
I don't see this act prescribing oral sex, if that is what you want to do.
Yes, because it's been raised. Even MPs have talked about it.
That's why I'm saying that. I don't see any of this particular provision. Because, you see, if you talk about lesbianism, what is lesbianism?
A female and a female. Yeah.
Now, what is a gay?
That's male.
Okay. So what is a transgender?
I may not know the entire spectrum.
Yes.
I'm not part.
Yes. You see, the prohibited activities are clearly spelled out. And in law, we say by express mentioning of the things, all others are excluded. So anything that is not expressly mentioned by this particular law is taken to have been excluded.
So how do people construe that this law will do that?
Where's from JoyNews?
Okay.
So if I am mentioning a category of offenses and one is not mentioned, it means that by express mentioning of the thing, all others are excluded. So they are just setting a question for themselves and try to be providing an answer.
Their own answers.
My point is that they should look at the law as passed by Parliament and make input into that particular law and stop making a very nebulous statement that the bill is, or the law is against human rights. The law is evading privacy. And at the end of the day, all those who will be caught by this particular law, the issue goes before a court of competent jurisdiction. And the court would have to look at the law, interpret the law. And if you are guilty of that particular law, then the court will proceed to go and look for the punishment prescribed by the law and punish you.
There's a question that's on the minds of many. Why is the activity itself, those who engage in the activity, attracting a punishment of up to 3 years, right? And yet the promoters attract a higher punishment?
You see,
that's up to 5 years.
Yes. You see, somebody may engage in activity. Such a person may even be a first offender.
Okay.
Such a person may even lure into doing that particular this. There is a tendency that a lot of people will be engaged in this unintentionally.
Okay.
Now, for you to say that you are funding LGBTQ activity, then you know what you are doing. And the activity of somebody who is funding, the activities of somebody who is promoting the LGBTQ activity is worse for me than somebody who is even engaged in the act. Because if you are promoting, you are not only promoting it, your promotion may not be limited to only one partner. There may be several people who are involved. So the degree of harm that you will be causing is higher than two people engaging in the activity.
How about if I'm not? Okay.
What brought about all these laws? You recall some time ago that people call themselves LGBTQ activity and they have acquired property at Domi Kwabenya and they have established
the Kwabenya place that they were finally
have established
office.
What are these people doing? Growing people into the activity. That has generated so much concern that the office was closed. They went further to erect billboard. These are the financiers that we are talking about. So I think a stiffer punishment should be given to them. And even the punishment is not much.
5 years?
Yes.
For somebody merely speaking up about something?
No. You see, if you
because
say...
the promotion is not... because promotion could be advocacy.
If you say somebody just speaking about something. Speaking about something.
Like, for example, protect the rights of LGBTQ
no, if you are
people.
talking about protecting the right of the LGBTQ, for instance, I am in this studio saying that anybody who lodge an attack on a person perceived by LGBTQ person is committing a criminal offense within the meaning of this particular law. I am speaking about LGBTQ. So would my assertion be taken to have been promoting LGBTQ activity, or I'm speaking from the perspective of the law?
Would it be a reasonable expectation that you are advocating?
No, I am not advocating.
Okay, I get your point.
LGBTQ.
Yeah.
You understand? I am speaking to what the law says, telling people that don't attack anybody perceived to be LGBTQ, because the law provides a remedy
on how to deal with the situation.
Or how to deal with the situation.
I get your point.
You understand? And
there's a tricky
whenever
question.
An act prescribe a procedure to deal with a particular situation, it is that procedure that
must be followed
dealing with the situation. But if I say on this particular studio, for instance, that I want 100 male who will be engaging LGBTQ activity, and they will be divided into two, and all those who are engaged in that, they will get a financial reward from me.
Okay.
You understand? What am I doing?
You are promoting.
Yes, I'm promoting.
Okay. Now, okay, that's the difference,
the law
right?
is trying to.
How about if I use a social media page? Am I still culpable?
To
promote it.
To promote.
Yes.
You are guilty. You are communicating.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yes.
Now, the other point, though, I mean, mindful of the provisions of the Vienna Convention.
Yeah. So if you use a social media to say that you are even providing a house for those who want to engage in LGBTQ activity to come and engage in those activities, are you not facilitating?
Okay, yeah, that could be equally seen as such.
Yes.
How about if I am
to say that don't attack anybody perceived by LGBTQ because they have the right not to be attacked? If you perceive that they will have to be made to face the full rigors of the law, this is the procedure. Report the conduct of the person. Let's put the person before a court of competent jurisdiction and let the court come out with a pronouncement.
If I produce
set the
music,
person free.
If I produce music, or have already produced music prior to the coming into force of the law, was that music still being circulated?
Well, what happened is that with my little constitutional knowledge is that Parliament have no right to make law that will take retrospective effect. So the law can only take prospective effect. So effective the date of the assent of this particular law, it takes effect. So you cannot produce any music that purport to promote activities of the LGBTQ.
How about if I'm a diplomat who is promoting the activities of LGBTQ people in this country, mindful of the Vienna Convention and this provision?
But you are not above the law.
Really?
Yes.
I want to thank you, Honorable. I think we have basically clarified it. When are you making this available on the website so that we can all have access and read for our personal comfort and understanding?
Well, as I told you, the third reading was passed yesterday.
Yes.
There were some few amendments to the third reading. So I believe when they are ready to send the bill to the President for the assent, then the actual publication will be.
I am grateful to you. If what happens with the presidency, if he assents to it, we will have a deeper conversation on the actualized, finalized document going into the future.
Yes, and let me tell the general public that there are constitutional imperatives that the president will have to follow, particularly in Article 106, 7 and 8. So upon presentation of the bill, the president has 7 days to signify whether he assent to the bill or do not assent to the bill. Then when he signifies within the 7 days, where the president do not assent to the bill, he has 14 days in order to get back to Parliament that he has not assented to the bill. And these are the reasons for not assenting to the bill. And then the Parliament will look at whatever that has come from the president. Either the president is recommending an aspect of the bill to be amended, and if Parliament feels strongly that the president will have to pass the bill, then he will be compelled by a two-third majority of Parliament to assent to the bill.
Thank you so much, Honorable Ben Ahiafor. Akachi South is where he represents them in Parliament. Thank you also for watching Upfront tonight.